Afternoon, everybody. Here we are again, Monday, 20th of April. Tile 12. Gosh, it comes round so quickly, and then before you know it, your next tile. And who knows what it's going to be like when we get to tile 24. Should be fun. Okay, hopefully you're writing your name, your date, and the tile number as we speak. Hi there, everybody. Just a little bit of thoughtfulness and just have a think whilst we're doing that. You know, we've all had quite a few, issues this last few weeks and maybe this last month, and it's worth sometimes stopping to just think, you know what, we're getting through this, and even if we're helping each other, or the odd smile or the odd wave makes a difference. It was my sister's, or it would have been my sister's birthday yesterday, and my dad's actually, and it's just something that you think about and you wonder how she would have managed with it. She obviously was in the NHS as well, so maybe she'd have been snowed under and busy. But who's to know? It's thankful for the time that I suppose that I had with her. Miss her a lot, but she's still here. She's still on the wings on my logo. So she's going. Oh yeah, windy. Well, it's sunny here, but I don't know if it's windy or not because I'm indoors and I don't really see much daylight, I must admit, when I'm in here. So, okay. Are we all ready to go today? You notice I've got my pencil all nice and sharpened, and I'm ready to go. Deep breath. Okay. So I'm going to do a border. I'm going to do a couple of borders, actually. I'm going to do a really, really close one. Right up against that edge almost. I'm going to leave just a tiny little bit around the outside edge. And then, oh, thank you. I look forward to these sessions too. It feels like, I know we don't, talk face to face, so to speak, but it's nice to know that there are people. Oh, Southport, hi Yvonne. Oh, you're welcome. Do you know what? I'm really enjoying it. The teaching element is one of those things that I really get. I love doing it. I love seeing what you've done afterwards, and I know sometimes some of the tangles we struggle with a little bit. Everybody's different, you're all going to have your own favourites. But it's working through them and just having a go and keep going, isn't it, really? Not worrying about them. Karen, Susan, Bridget, oh, I've just written a parcel out for you, I'm sure. Okay, there we go then with our main border. So I'm going to come in a bit, well, quite a lot. And I'm going to have, let's have a look there. There we go. I'm going to put some more dots in. Oh yeah, my husband's just gone to the post office actually while I'm doing this. He'd got a carrier bag full and an armful, so hopefully it'll be with you soon. There we go. So there's the border. It's quite a hefty weight there. Let's have a look if I sort of go onto the end of my pencil. It's quite a border. There we go. So, down there. Turning it round. And down that one. So that's my second one. Oh, sitting in the garden. Oh. We actually were going to have some gardening done. It's a barren wasteland at the minute, and we've saved some money up to start it. And somebody came to give us a quote, it sort of never happened, and it still looks like a barren wasteland with a pile of bricks. But I'm sure, we'll get it sorted. I promised Seth, one of my dogs, that we could move so he could have a bigger garden. And he's got a bigger garden, but like I say, it's a bit of a wasteland for him. Okay. Oh, Sunderland. Oh, you're welcome. So there you go. I've got 3 borders in there. All right. You see, I'm not worried that's a little bit narrower than that. Really doesn't matter. You're not going to notice it so much when we've got round it all. Okay. I'm going to stick with the pencil just for a little bit, and I'm going to start in the middle here. And I'm not going to go too small with this. Be light with this because it's just a guide for you. I'm going to create myself a bit of a triangle. Now, there we go. So you can see where it's at. It doesn't matter which way round it is, or whether just giving giving you a bit of an angle there. Okay? So then, back to pen. Are we ready for this then? I'm going to focus on each of the corners. Deep breath, nice and gentle. So it's not a tiny one here. I'm going to sort of come in about there, and I'm going to put that little sort of bubble shape around there, but I'm not going into my triangle. Okay? So let's have a look. Go a little bit bigger. All right. And then I'm going to aura, or just draw around that shape there. And again, not going into that triangle. Sunny Glasgow, hey! Never been to Scotland. So I should go at some point. Okay, so I'm doing the same now on this point of this triangle. There's no rush, taking it easy. Okay, see, so I've got the two. And then onto this one. Round I go. Remember, it's not got to be a circle, it's more of a bubble or a pebble, whatever you want to call it. There we go. So I've got my three sort of points. Looks a bit weird at the minute, but not to worry. Okay. In the garden. Oh, brolly up. Is that because you're shading from the sun or because it's raining? Okay. Working then from this to this. Remember I said that this was just a guide. I'm going to go in from about here and I'm going to create a bit of a curve from one all the way through to the next. And you see that curve, and it's gone all the way up to here. Let's have those touching. And then I'm going to just colour in that section there and there. Okay. Oh, the sun. Okay, fine. Hi, Fiona. Same this one. A slight curve all the way down, and I'm going to fill in that section. I'm going to fill in that section. There we go. And then turn it round again, and I'm going to fill in from there, look, to there in that little curve. You see that triangle that we started with now, hopefully sort of disappeared in the background a little bit. Okay. Oh, hi, Leah. All right. So there we go. All right. So working my way then onto here. Now, I'm going to follow this line. I'm going to go underneath here, so I'm going to miss it. To make it a little bit bigger. There we go. I'm going to go under here, and then I'm going to bring it back out here to this line. See, so it just looks like it's going under. There we go, see? And then I'm going to follow it through again. I'm going to go under this one, and I'm going to take it out to the edge of that one as well. So right to the edge of my tile. I've covered sort of all borders. Same there, look. So let's have a look at that then. Alright, so I've done my curves. And then from this point here, I've gone underneath here and underneath here. And followed it through the same that way. Okay. All my tiles are exactly the same size. They're 8.3 centimetres square. Now, why 8.3 centimetres? I don't know. It just felt right. Much to my husband's, can't you have it as a standard size, Sandra? It's like, no, I want it to be what I want it to be. So that's what they are. They're not the same size as Sanntangle tiles. They're my version, so it's what I wanted to have at the time. Okay. All right, so there we go. So far, so good. Somebody says that's my catchphrase now. So, working now just nice and gently on the inside of those lines, or the outer one. Yeah, it's going to be the inside. I'm just going to create an extra line, sort of giving it a bit of an edge. Just nice and gentle, following it through. Oops, I missed a bit there. There we go. Just making sure that you go all the way up to touch that pencil border that we've drawn. Same on this one. So I'm going to follow from here, the way down, and then into that one. Forget to turn your tile as you go. Don't try and force it so it's uncomfortable in any way. Just move it as you need it. And again with that pen, I know it's a fine pen, but just ever so gently let it do the work. You don't need to really press on or hold it down in any way. Just hold it gently, nice and comfy, and let it flow against that paper. Nice and gentle. Okay. All right. So let's go a little bit bigger. So working on this now. Do you know we've actually covered over 30 different tangle patterns in this last 11 sessions that we've done? So I am going to focus on a few of those maybe that we've used and just sort of look at them in a different light. You see where I've got a little dot in there, and then I'm going to go round and I'm going to create this lovely little swirl. Now I can stop whenever I feel like, make it as big as I want. I'm going to go for about there. And then another dot, and then starting all over again. Just working it round a bit there. And I'm going to put another dot, and then I'm going to follow it round. You see where I'm going with this? I'm going to fill the whole space with these wonderful swirly shapes. If I get to where I've got to the edge of another, I'm going to just make it look like I've gone underneath. There we go, look. Just taking my time, there's no rush. Well, I suppose there is, I do have to keep a pace, but you know, when you're sat there, you're doing this, don't think you've got to keep up with me. You can play this back to your heart's content afterwards and stop and start it. And just follow it through as we're going. There we go. You see, I'm just pretending it's going under there. Fill in my space. You can do them the same size, different sizes. You can go one way or the other, doesn't matter. Whatever's comfortable for you. There we go. There's something just about swirls that I like. I think whether because they're quite free and you're in control, you can go as fat or as thin as you like, as big or as little. You know, and it's sort of trying to work and how do you get them all in? You see I've got some little gaps. I'm going to go in and just fill them. Just gives it that little bit of sort of drama. It makes it look like there's a background in there somewhere. There we go. Little bits. Okay. So I'm gonna, there we go, fill in those little bits there too, and I'm going to extend it out into this section here. So it doesn't matter where you start. It's quite a large. I think sometimes with these swirls, they tell you when it's time to finish. You sort of think, oh, I'm getting off a little bit. It's like, no, it's time to stop at that point. Or it's a bit of a challenge to see how far you can go. I am going to stay within my border on the edge there. I'm going to go off today. I'll stick with it, I think. Well, nice and easy, around they go. So are you drawing your, I don't know, with right hand, does it go to the right? Do you do it that way, or do you do it that way? Oh, and Christmas cards, absolutely. Do you know what, doing these with Christmas cards, they're absolutely beautiful. The little stars you can get, and There's lots of stuff. Actually, I did a Christmas set. I was on Create and Craft the other day, actually. But they didn't let me. I couldn't call it Christmas. I'm not allowed to yet. It's too early. But you know what? It's the ideal time. Even if you just sit and do these as little toppers, you can then make them up when you feel like it later. You don't have to do all the Christmassy bits now, do you? You can just fill it in as you go. There we go. No, Bernadette, I don't know though. Maybe that's coming. Maybe I'm just sort of like holding off from being a rebel just for a little while. I mean, come on, I have got 3 borders in there. So that's not the I don't know, what is normal? You know? There we go. This is quite a large one there. Tiny little one, look. I think sometimes, again, you get used to doing them a certain size and your muscle memory already does that. So sometimes stopping and making yourself do a different size is quite a challenge. Yeah, look. See, I've got all little ones now. Let's do a bit bigger. That's it. Oh, I know, Leah. I did do a sheep for Leah. Actually, I did use this pattern as the main body. I bet you can see it now, can't you? Sheep in this. It was cute. There we are. Just fill that bit in. And this section here. So what's the earliest we've been getting up in the morning then? Are we finding that we're getting up later and later, or are we up with the crack of dawn with the birds? I could sleep on a washing line at a minute. Oh yeah, sometimes, when your swirls go both ways and you start to look at it, it does sort of blow your mind a little bit. And you're like, okay, which one went which way, which went the other? It is fun though. It's quite a nice party trick actually as well. Somebody goes, I bet you can't do it the other way. You go, actually, yeah, I can. It's quite fun. I've done that a few shows. You tend to get it with people that don't tangle and they sort of think they're being clever. It's like, yeah, okay, we can do this. The one thing I find really difficult doing swirls is doing it with my different hand. Getting to sleep, Leslie. Oh. Yeah, my mum had an operation on her hand last year and she was really in a lot of pain with it. So we sat at the table and we had a go at this, but I did it with my right hand and she did it with her left, so we could sort of even the playing field a bit. And it was really weird, especially doing swirls with the wrong hand. But you know what, it sorted itself out. My mum's pretty much into it now as well, which is good. It means, it's just something else that we've got in common that we can sit and do. It's lovely. I don't see her as much as I'd like. It is a bit of a drive. Look. Oh, there we are. And you notice I'm actually going to fill in that section of the border as well with my pen, just to sort of edge it. I'm probably going to go around it all with a pen later, but I'm not going to worry about that too much now. Okay. Just a touch there, look. Let's have a look at that. Alright. So this is where we're sort of at. Definitely a late riser. Oh, I missed the name on that one. Yeah, I sort of like lying in, but I can't lie in too much. Certainly not with Benji. A minute. He's up at the crack of dawn and he's wanting out and playing. And if you leave the door open, well, you're fair game. Okay. I quite like that. It's a really nice way of stopping and starting something. Certainly on your journal, if you don't want to sort of extend it across the whole page, put one of these in, and then add another, and you could sort of make it look like it's going into one and out the other. She did, Leah, yes, she did. She doesn't want to do that again, I tell you. Okay, so I'm going to work in this section here now, and I'm still going to imagine it as being a grid. Well, I'll say a full square because I'm going to put a grid in. So here's my centre-ish. And down we go into there. Now, I'm not going to just split this in the middle this time. I'm going to actually split this into 3 sections. So I'm sort of doing it by eye. One there and one there. All right. Same for this. So it's about here. It's about, you know, don't worry about measuring. If they're not exactly the same, it doesn't matter. All right, I'm going to put that line in as well, you know, that border there. And I might as well put that one in whilst I'm there. My lines are all going the same way on that one. There we go. So I've got stripes at the minute. I suppose so, yeah. A bit of a spinner, yeah. Hey, if you imagine you did this, but you did it here as well, and then had all, oh yeah, see, all these ideas that spark. But we're going to do a bit of a border in a minute. So let's join that one. Let's join that one there. Now I can see some of you reaching for your rulers. Honestly, it doesn't matter. You won't notice it once it's done. And again, I'm going to split this. So one there and one there. So I've got 3 sections. The same on this side. So you're looking about. There we go. That one there. And then there's one in there. Okay. There we are. My squares-ish. They're not real squares. If you were to look at those and measure them, they're not squares, trust me. All right, let's go. Oh, Leo, do you know what? It'll come. It'll come. We've just got to find you the right patterns to work with. All right, you see where I'm working now, where all these lines meet? So you've got this little cross shape. And then I'm going in there and I'm adding sort of little triangles on the end, and I'm going to colour that in. So if I look at it from a distance, there we go, you see, you've got a bit of a square or a diamond. It depends on how you shape it. And you could even do curves if you like. Whatever you want to do with it. But what I'm going to do now is on every sort of cross section, I'm going to fill in and add that pattern. So even if I can't get all of it in, so let's just put that one in. So see that here at the top, I'm just going to get the half of it in there. Yes. Like sometimes it's nice, it's just fine to use a ruler, you know, if you're doing something specific, but sometimes you don't want to be having all that hassle of having all those bits and pieces out and all that tools and equipment. I mean, you know, things have got their place, but sometimes if you just sat there and you want to do it, you want as few items as possible. There we go. But again, if you think that, you know, your hand's a little bit strained while you're colouring in, just ease off a little bit. Just means you're holding it a bit too tight. Just let the pen do the work. You're just guiding it. Alright, it looks a bit like a tiled floor, doesn't it? So we're moving to this next section. And there we go. Now some people like to draw all the shapes first and then colour them in. Or I like to sort of, I don't know, it's almost like I like to see the job finished before I move on. So I like to do one, colour it in, and then move to the next one. But everybody's different, so whatever you want to do, it's fine. Let me have a look. Oh. Oh, Leo, well, it was nice speaking to you. All right, you hang in there, take care. We'll see you soon. I might just not quite get much in there. And just filling in as we go. It doesn't matter if they're all the same size, if they're all slightly different. It's absolutely fine. Just take your time. Nice and gentle. Oh, hey, Sean. Oh, Sean, can you do me a favour? Can you message me your address, please? I have finally got your order sat here. But it just means that it saved me later going and searching through, finding it. Oh, yeah, look. Let's have a look at that then. Okay. So I've got this sort of tiled floor bit going on behind it. Oh, colouring live shows. Do you know what? Yeah, we could. Sit with pens and things though. It depends on what people have got, and I think sometimes it can get a little bit confusing if we've all got different pens and I'm trying to work colours. Plus, you don't always see the colour exactly as it is through a screen. So, yeah, maybe. I'm a little bit, just a little bit busy at the minute. These are enough, I think, 3 a week. How are we doing with that? Got there? Okay. I am going to now pen in the rest of my border. Just so I can define where it is. Okay. Just following it through. Again, doesn't matter if it doesn't find its way exactly to where you drew your pencil originally. Just take it easy. So, next bit then. I'm going to swap to pencil just for a little bit. Just want to do a few more guidelines. Okay, so I'm going to put one here. Just nice and lightly. And then one here. Because I don't want to see really the pencil when I've finished. See, there's one here. I'm going to go straight over that because I can then see where I'm going. And one here. Alright. And then let's find the sort of the centre. Put one in. And sort of the centre. Put one in. And then I'm going to split that one in the middle and that one in. So we've got our halves. Same there. Now I'm still going to put that one in, even though it's over that. It's fine. And then one in here, one here. So I've got these corners, then I've got these extra bits. Okay. All right. So let's start in this point here. Okay, so I'm right in this corner. Now let's go a little bit larger. And what I'm going to do is nice and thin now. I'm going to keep them thin. I'm going to do one from here to here. And there to there. Okay. Homeschooling drama. Oh, dear me. I must admit, I'm glad I don't have to do that. Really am. And then here, see, I've put this in because I can see where it's coming. And one in there. And same on that corner. One there. One there. Okay. Let's have a look at that one. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work my way across here. So I'm going to go from this point to this line here. And I'm going to put in that one. this one. And then, see, this is why I was putting those points in, so I can see where I'm going, because some of them are going to look like they're going underneath. See? And then here, I'm just going to see that last little bit. So I've got like this sort of zigzag shape going around. Same on this one. So if I go from here to here, nice, and just keep them thin. I don't want to go too crazy with them just for now. And then there. So then this one, my line is here. Just do it a little bit bigger. You see where that line is in pencil there? So that's where the point really needs to go. So I'm going to work from there and bring it along. Same there. And then here, again, I would work to this point, but you're only going to see part of it. Okay. Look at that. And turn my tile. And the same again. So here to here. And then up to here. And then down to here. Last time, turning my tile. Oh, missed my line there, so I'm going to imagine my lines are there, look. There. That's it, then to there. And that one would be about there. So I missed both lines on this side. And then down to that one. Okay. So we've got this border going all the way around. So looking at these sections, I'm going to put half a one. So it just looks like it's going to go all the way underneath. And again, to there. Turning my tile. There to there. And that one. And turning my tile. See, this one is from here. There we go. And that one. Okay, imagine when we start putting some pencil on this, the depth that we're going to get, because it looks like we've got a few steps going on here. I'm going to do the same on the edges and the outer edges. I'm going to put one in. Let's put that one in there as well. I'm going to turn my tile. And that one in there. This one I'm not quite going to get to that point there. Okay. Turning my tile. Across there. And then that one. And that one. And again, turning my tile. There to there. And that one. And that one. There we go. So we've got this quite large pattern. So we've started quite small, then we've gone to something a bit more structured, and then we've gone a little bit more organic again. Okay, I'm going to make that a little bit larger now so you can see what I'm doing. So taking these sections on the inside here, I'm going to try and touch all sides and put a little bubble in there. Okay, and then I'll get another one in here, one in here, and one in here. Okay, and then the gaps that are left, I'm just going to fill in with that pen, just like we did with the squares in the last pattern. There we go. Just making it look like those sort of encased. There we are. So then into the next one, and again trying to touch all the sides there, and then one in that side, one in that side, one in that side. and fill in the gaps around it just as we're going. Now, again, if you want to go in and draw all these little bubbles first and then go back in and add the colour, that's entirely up to you. You can do that if you like. Again, I quite like, it sort of adds an extra layer on. There we are. Just fill in those bits in. As we go. Making it easy so far. Now here, I can still see the 3 sides. I can fill that one in and that one in. And then colour in that section there. And that section there. Now on this side, I might just get a little one there and fill that so it looks like it's been completed. So if I turn my tile and then repeat the process, trying to touch the sides, but if you don't worry about it, it's fine. Oh, Caroline, that's okay. You can just watch what we're doing now and you can go back and watch it afterwards. We're just sort of doing the last bit of the border now, and then we're going to go in and add the shade, which is the bit where it all comes to life. I'm making us wait for that today. We've done all the patterns first. So I'm just going to imagine, actually, if it depends how much time, what time we've got. You could go in and colour these in different colours and have them looking like little gems, like we did with the tile, not last week, was it week before? Was it a Friday? We did the gem tile. Not last Friday though, Friday before. There we go. Just keep it going. Now, speaking of keeping it going, I am in the process of doing another 12 tile sort of session. I like to sort of plan ahead if I can, at least have an idea on what I'm doing. And of course, putting together some sort of pack that's gonna mean you've got everything that you need. But I was thinking of going a little bit different this time. I know we've done all our cream tiles. It's nice to do that, but I thought about trying a few different colour tiles, maybe. Trying a different pencil, different shapes. But, I'm working on it. I am. It's just they take time, and of course, trying to get anything ordered and delivered, it's taking a little bit longer, as you will know. So I'm hoping to have the new pack ready. So I said I'd like to get it done by the end of the week. But of course Thursday I'm back up in Peterborough, so they've asked me to go back on Create and Craft again. So they're going to get sick at sight of me. I think they're going to have to set up my own little space. Been there that much, but it's great. It's nice to sort of keep going, and everybody's doing what they're supposed to be. There's safety first, so that's absolutely fine. I love going up there. They're a nice bunch of people. They really are. Oh, thank you. Don't even know what's in it yet. I've got some exciting things. I've got some ideas that I thought, we could try this. Because although I try and keep the tiles as simple as we could make them, so you can follow the steps. But we have been building our level up as we've been going. And there's some of the patterns that we've done are quite complex considering. So I think we can do it. We've got this. Of course, and I'm also trying to sort of think that if people, if you've already got the stuff, yeah, that's great. If you haven't, I'm trying to put together something that it means that you've got all the basics, but we've got the basics now, so it's moving into that next bit, and what else can we use? It's so much you can do with it. It's so exciting. But I'm trying to keep it down to the sort of least amount of materials and least amount of cost as I can. And of course, still got to go into that large letter envelope. So leave it with me. I'll be messaging. I'll post it on when I've done it. And of course, there's new products for Thursday. It's nice to sort of, take on stuff again as ish, but it's also nice to have new. And I think you might like the new products because they're a bit more of a challenge and they're not necessarily drawing on paper anymore. Yes. So I'm quite excited to share it now, actually. It's ideas that have been there for a little bit and a chance for getting them to come out. So I think we're ready for it now. I think we're ready for tangle on something a bit different. So I'll see what you think. Can't show you yet. Now that'd just spoil the surprise. So let's focus on this. Now how are we doing with this? We're getting there. I'm looking my way around. I'm sort of on my last side now. Adding in these little bubbles. Of course there's nothing stopping you with these. Just going round and adding those little spirals in. It could be quite nice. Oh, Yvonne, it's, I talked about getting up early not long ago. Yeah, I've got to be there. The show's 7:30 in the morning. And then I think there's one, I think 12:15ish or something like that. I know these times and the 45-minute slots are all mess with your head. So much to remember. But I'll post the times when they've been 100% confirmed. I think that's it though. There we go. Get my way around. Oh, I like strawberries, but it won't, well, I say it won't be long. It's out, so. All right, let's have a look at that. There we go. So we've got quite a busy pattern going on there, but no, I like it. Okay. Coming on in then. And again, this is something we've done before, is I'm just going to add 3 little lines either side of those sort of petal type shapes. You see, even there, I'll just get 1 in maybe, or 2. Just sort of giving it a little bit more dimension before we add the shade. You see why we didn't want the pencil lines sort of too heavy. Yeah, Gracie, it's nice, isn't it? It's way different from the one we did the other day. But what I'm trying to do is sort of cover all different areas, because I know some people will like some better than others. So it's giving you a little bit of a variation and looking at possibilities of things you can do. I'm on purpose. I'm not trying to keep them all the same because, we're not the same, are we? We all like different things, and it's just great to try them. Cogs and wheels, yeah. I could do some cogs and wheels. Be nice as an interconnecting one, wouldn't it? I'll add that to my notes. There we go. So I'm just flicking these lines in. I'm not trying to keep them the same size or anything. Just a little bit of definition. There we go. Yeah, it's a good point that. Yeah, repeat it but change it up. I mean, something like this, you could have actually, this pattern we're doing now, you could do where I've done the sort of the tiles, and the tiles could go on here. This, you could go bigger or smaller. The original this particular pattern, I've used a smaller version of it, which I can show you in a bit. And I say, you know, you could turn these into gems. You could add a tangle inside them. There's lots of things you could do. This is just one possibility. There's so many ways. Okay, let's have a look at that. You see how just doing those little lines, see how now it's started to add a little bit of shade in there. It's quite nice, that one, isn't it? So, all right, deep breath. It's nice sometimes, you know, just to sort of come away from it and look. You think, yeah, okay, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Let's have a look on with pencil now. So let's start in the middle and work our way out. We're looking at the very first bit here. It's pencil. Now I'm going on the inside. I'm covering the whole of the pattern, you see. So I'm not touched this white line here. I've gone inside that. Just turn my tile. Same again. Turn my tile. Same again. So I've covered all sides. So when I put my tortillon in there to smooth, I'm going to try and leave some of the centre section with no pencil at all. Let's do the same on all those sides now. Okay, same on this one. So I'm not worrying about doing individual shading here. I'm shading it as one complete block. Whereas before, when we've used this pattern, we did do it and shaded each one sort of separately. This goes to show you don't have to. You can look at it as one whole section. Okay, so that's our first little bit. Secondly, I'm just going to add just a touch of pencil on those bits there. Nothing much, just a touch. And then on the outside of this line, I'm going to go in and add some pencil all the way around. And you see that I'm working with the side of my pencil and not the pointy bit. So I'm getting sort of a thicker line there. And if you're not really confident about putting pencil on, then just put a little bit on and shade it out and then add another layer afterwards. But this one does benefit from quite a strong sort of line. There we go. All the way around. Okay, so this is where you should be. That's what you've got at the minute. Okay, so going over to our tortillon then. Remember, these are just little rolls of paper. If you look at yours closely, you can see where it's been rolled along here, and this does lose its point eventually. If you look at and you towards that one, you see how it's rounded slightly. There you go. You can get a nail file or a bit of sandpaper, and you can actually file it off to create that point again. Plus, it cleans up the little bit on the end. So here we go. Little swirls. And I'm just going around. You see where I've just smoothed off that sort of pencil edge or the line it left, but I've not gone into the middle. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, that's that bit of pencil, and you suddenly start to see a little bit of dimension, and then this just, wow, what would we do without this? I know you can use your finger, but you can't always sort of control that, and it doesn't go where you want it to go. There we are, look. And then again on the outside, I don't want to move this too far because I'm going to do more shading here, so I'm just smoothing off that edge by going in little circles just to move it out a little bit and break up that edge. There we go. Okay. Same on this side. Let's do it that way. Little bits. Now, are you using your hairspray to fix these when you've done? Because I know there's a lot of pencil on this. And if you put it into your journal straight as, it is gonna transfer over onto your other page. And yeah, you can put another tile over the top, but just helps. I mean, let's face it, do we need hairspray anyway for spraying on our hair at the minute? No. Great way of using it, isn't it? See, look at that, how it lifts. Loving it. Okay, back to pencil then. Let's move in and look at our little tiled floor. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm sort of using it as a flat section, and I'm going to add a little bit and sort of shimmy downwards. Add a bit, shimmy down. Oh, Christine. Yes, any will do. Do you know what? The cheaper the better. You don't need to go and, use anything that's really expensive. Just a cheap version, and that'll just hold your pencil off and fix it a little bit. You can get a fixative for it, but I don't know. I mean, I'm getting back to my college days, and whatever I'd got worked. Hairspray, cheaper the better. It's fine. Okay. I don't have the luxury. Oh, has the wife not got any? Oh, you'll have to go out and buy some, and we've got to class it as an essential. It's an essential item. Okay, so I'm going in, and I'm sort of doing the same motion that I did with the pencil, going over that line and just shimmying down a little bit, just as we go. There we are. So just touching. You see, I'm not going over too much. I'm just giving it a little bit of a move, and see how I've left this corner without any Raid daughter's stash. If she's a teenager, beware. Mod Podge spray. Yeah, it could be. I have used, the varnish or the spray that I used on my boards. I have actually sprayed one of those. Have I got it here? Oh, this is. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. This one was a spray and glitter. There you are. Look. I don't know if you can just see. Yeah, you can see with that, and it's put a bit of a sheen on it, and you can see here that it's not rubbing off. That's totally sealed. But then I couldn't go over the top and draw anything on that. The hairspray, I could go and add another layer if I wanted, but hairspray's cheaper. Okay, so back in with my pencil, and I'm going to add some to the inside of that line. You see, and I've gone all the way over that line as well. Turn it around. Do you know what I did think? There's been a couple of you saying, I don't know how to shade, so I thought we'll get loads of shading in here. Okay, and again, just small swirls. Just breaking it up a little bit. So we're not trying to sort of get it to move all the way across the page. We're just smoothing it off a bit. There we go. Oh, glitter hairspray. Yeah, now you're talking. Yeah, a bit of glitter on them. Yeah. Honestly, do you know what? It's worth a try, isn't it? It's worth trying anything. If you think it's gonna do the job, give it a go. All right. I'm on the outside now of that line. Okay. So again, I'm just working not to the point, but with the pencil sort of flat in my hand. Oh, Samantha, shading and rules. There are no rules. Tips. You always find that shading works better if you've got light and dark So what you're always aiming to do is to create a dark point somewhere, and then try and leave some section of it, which we'll do in a minute, I'm going to show you in a minute, some section of it without any pencil at all, and that'll give you the light. And sometimes the darker you can go, the lighter your lights look. So if you put a little bit of pencil on it, you think, oh, I'm not quite getting the definition here, or maybe you've not put enough pencil on. Do you see that I've been quite heavy there? There's nothing stopping me going back in and adding even more. And then of course we have in the past before, we've gone back in with pen and defined a line, and you can see there that now makes that look darker. So just go in and do that all the way around. And I suppose the other, if you're going to do shade a particular pattern, so like we've done with this tile pattern here, it doesn't matter which side you go in and add the dark to, but I would suggest you stick to the same side. So I wouldn't perhaps, see where I've put my dark here, I wouldn't do it dark here and then light there, dark there, then dark and dark. I wouldn't swap them around, I'd keep them the same, and that gives you a better illusion. Okay, so let's look at this section here. Now you see where I've gone dark by adding those extra lines in. So if I repeat that with my pencil and go in dark here and dark there, and then in with my tortillon, and I'm going to flick upwards. You see? But I'm not in the middle. Same here. So let's just have a look at that from a distance now. You can see that the pen flicking has helped, and it looks really dark there, but by smoothing it out, it's sort of graduated into the middle, whereas the middle's got none at all. So you look like you're getting that kind of bowed shape almost. So let's do that again. So there we go. Put the darks in there. Let's do that one at the same time. Right. Let's also put that little smirk, as we do. See, like here, you see that I've put them all on the same side. If I was doing it this side, it'd be absolutely fine, but then I'd do it on the same side on all those as well. There we go. So flick out with that one. And that one, you see it's travelling and it's graduating towards the centre, but I'm not in the centre. And that's giving the impression that it's got some shape to it. There we go. So again, let's look at that from a distance. You see now? Perhaps not that far, I can't see it at all if it gets that small. Yeah. Yeah, it does. It makes all the difference, doesn't it, Sheila? So let's go in now and let's see where I've done here. I'm going to keep that same line going all the way around. Okay. And then a bit of dark. Same here. So I'm still on the same area there. There we go. And then turning it round, I'll follow that through. Oh, well, should I follow it through? Yeah, it's that side. So I'm keeping it the same all the way through. Right. Now I notice that I'm not being particularly neat with it. It's just putting some on because the tortillon's going to do the work there. I'm just applying the graphite almost just to get it going. See? Well, let's go in and add some shade with that. So again, just flick it into the middle and smooth it off. Flick it into the middle and smooth it off. See, that's why, you know, when we do these, the sort of the construction lines, so the one that I did in the middle of that one there, you can't really see it now, Sometimes I know it's like, oh, I want to rub it out so you don't see it at all. But sometimes you think, well, I'm going to keep it in, because you can see then if you need to go back, exactly what you did in order to create it. Plus it shows that, it has been hand done. There we go. Keep this way. You see now it's getting this sort of bit of depth, isn't it? And a bit more of that drama coming in. So there, let's go back in with my little bubbles. Making it through, and then adding in some pencil. Oh, Susan, what paper do I use? It's the same paper that goes into my journals, only a heavier weight. It's Italian paper, and it's 280 GSM, so it's quite heavy. Then it's not as cream as some of them that you get out there. I wanted like an off-white, but not cream. So I wanted to see that it was still black and white, so to speak. I'm struggling to get hold of it at the minute, so we've still got some in, that's okay. If I'm using black tiles, then it's a different paper. It's a 250 GSM, and it's a really it's thorough core, super smooth black, and that gives you a different effect completely. But then we're working on black, which I'm hoping to do in the next 12 tiles. That's exciting. It's a totally different way of working. It's lovely. Okay, so as you can see there, we've now got quite a few different depths going on. We've got the main section here. This definitely looks like it's over the top of this, and this looks like it's under that. And we could go on and we could keep adding, and I could carry on using my pen and go in again and put those flicks back in, that we did on these petals, and just define them a little bit more. But I think for now, as it is, I think I'm going to leave it as that. Of course, the only thing we need to do is our initials. Where am I going to put it? We're going to put it here. So for today, it's going in the tile. Sometimes it's on the outside, sometimes it's in. Doesn't matter. There we go. So a few more patterns. Some of the patterns we've done before. The one on the outside is sort of relatively new. So that takes us to, I think, about 34, 35 patterns. And I did say that I had done this, but this particular pattern I'd used a narrower border. So you can see here, if I move this one in, the difference. You see that I've gone a lot smaller there. Let's just move that in a bit. And it shows just trying something a bit, a bit different. So instead of doing sort of on the edges there, I've gone a bigger corner. Similar sort of thing, but you can see they always look different. And of course this one I've probably spent a little bit more time on getting the shading done, but it entirely depends on what you want to do with it and where you're sort of heading. But I'm liking that one. It's totally different to what we did last week, and it is actually the end of our emergency kit first set, 12 tiles. So your journals must be filling up nicely, and hopefully you've got a lot out of it. I will continue it as promised. So Wednesday at 2:00 is going to be the same thing. I'm going to carry on, I think, certainly for this week, to do cream tiles with the black pen, just using the emergency as normal. If you don't have any tiles, don't panic. Find a nice bit of cartridge paper, a bit of smooth paper to use, and we'll go for it. And we'll see what comes from then. I think I shall start using black tiles next week. I'm going to give us all a chance to sort of catch up and get in what we need for that. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. Oh, thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Sue. It's a real pleasure, and it's a privilege to work with you. It really is. Thank you for keeping me sane just as much as I'm hoping I'm keeping you sane. So hang on in there. Have fun with this one. Oh, you've not shown me your buttons that you did from the weekend, from Friday. That'd be nice to see. Oh, Catherine, you've got to go. You've got to go. So, yeah, enjoy. Stay safe, and I will see you Wednesday at 2 o'clock. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.